say I quit. I want to go home.
And did they say?
And they say, you're here to work. You stand that by agency. I say yes, but I have right to say no because that's not my job. I cannot do it because that's not my job.
They didn't want to let you go.
They say you have to stay for a day. You have to stay because nobody's going to take you home. You have to stay till the end of the day.
Right. But you left.
I want to go home.
Yeah.
I have to get an arrangement to go home. And they say, you know what? If you want to call a taxi, it's going to be on your side. You're going to pay that for the taxi. It's going to be on your side. You're going to pay that for the taxi.
Yeah.
And I called back the agency. I just say, you know what? I don't like the job. I want to go home. They say, I cannot do anything. You have to wait till they're going to feed the day and they're going to drop you off. And
so how do you? So looking back at all of this now, how do you look back at that?
Yes, I look back that, you know, it was a fit. This is not a job that myself I can do it because I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared for that situation.
Yeah.
And I will say to anybody that, you know, when you first day you go to job, you don't like it, make it choose. If you don't want to work, you're not forced to work. You have to just leave.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Obviously not. I mean, there are situations where people, I mean, don't have the luxury. We're also, you know, we're joking about this today, but there are obviously people who do jobs that they don't like or that they even hate and that they sort of have to do for all kinds of reasons. We're sort of not focusing on that much today, but you know, there is that also. But Mohammed, thank you so much for calling in and talking about your experiences. Mohammed calling from Quebec City. Local number here, it's 514-597-4500. Toll free, it's 1-877-597-4500. Elspeth, just to touch on, just to be serious for another 20 seconds, I'm going to be serious with the comedian here, but I mean, we are sort of, you know, we're joking about all this, and we're sort of not talking about the reality of people doing work that they wish they weren't doing, but they have to do for all kinds of reasons. I feel like we should just sort of linger on this point for another 20 seconds, because that happens all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I've definitely been in situations where it's, you know, I've had, you know, just like little retail jobs or something, but it was like, even if an hour of my schedule was cut, then, you know, I wouldn't be able to eat, you know, so it's, I definitely understand.
Yeah. Just wanted to get that in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring somebody else into the conversation now. Ellen David, actor, director, and producer. Hi, Ellen. Welcome back to Radio Noon. Nice to have you here.
Hi, Sean. Great to be here.
I'm anxious. Yeah, I'm anxious to hear your story. A job that didn't work out exactly the way that you wanted. Do you have one?
Yes, I do. Well, it's kind of I guess it was a career that didn't work out. When I was contemplating going into acting and theater, I think my parents were a little concerned about it, and my mother's brother was a senior partner at a big accounting firm, and none of his kids were interested, and I was pretty good in math and, you know, finance, and so I was sort of being groomed to be the one to become a partner there. And in university, I registered for accounting and microeconomics and macroeconomics and all of that juicy stuff. And then I went to class the first day and I thought, I will just tear my hair out. I cannot sit here. I was like, you know, itching to perform and to create characters. And so I went into the, you know, the registrar's office and turned around and changed everything to acting classes. And then years later, when I was in university, I got a job as my friend was working as a designer at Jerome Myers International, who was a design firm at Place Bonaventure. And then they were looking for someone to do bookkeeping. And so I went in as a part-time job to support myself while I was studying acting, and became the office manager there and was sort of headed in that direction. And thought, you know, I'm pretty good at this. I was discovering discrepancies in the finances and mistakes in previous bookkeeping that had been done. And I thought, you know, I can do this. I can handle this. But I would just start to play and do characters and answer the phone with crazy voices. And at the same time, I was applying to RADA, Royal Academy of Dramatic Art.
Yeah.
And I was accepted. And my boss, Mr. Myers, took me to lunch one day and he said, I really think that you should just pursue that. And he was so supportive and he gave me his blessing. And so, you know, it kind of turned things around for me.
So the boss gave you the blessing, and the family?
The family eventually, like my mother would carry my reviews in her wallet. She kind of begrudgingly sort of, gave me kudos, but I knew that she was, she was fond of what I was doing. My father would be the loudest laugh in the audience at any show I was doing, so he did, he did.
So your story's a bit, it's in the category of a job that you and a career that you didn't want to work out, right?
Yes, I guess the road not taken in a way. I mean, I had other jobs. As an actor, you do many different things. I worked in phone sales. I worked as a caterer. I was a bartender. And any one of them was really, really interesting to me. Now I just play those characters on TV. But it's, you see that you can, sometimes in your wheelhouse, you have a few different things. But if you follow your gut and follow your instinct, I think it will lead you down the right career path. Now, not to say that it's easy, because obviously the arts, you're talking to comedians, and it's not an easy path to take it, especially during the pandemic. Just lingering on something you just brought up in the previous segment, it isn't easy all the time, and sometimes these jobs can be very stressful. And I know that during the pandemic, a lot of actors and people in our industry suffered greatly and were reevaluating what they want to do, and some people started down other career paths of things that maybe had been in their zeitgeist in the past. So it's not kind of like a kind of written in stone sometimes. Sometimes we do shift into different things, as I did, going from acting to directing and now producing somewhat. So I think it's just sort of following your heart and trying to open doors for yourself that you think may be closed, or other avenues that you thought of when you were younger or earlier that may kind of reappear again. It's not as dramatic as killing chickens or getting hit by cars in my case, but it is, and it's something that's still part of me, that kind of administrative quality that I'm grateful for.
And it's like part of that, you said the road not taken. It's also sort of the road that sort of takes you to today, right?
Yes, exactly. All roads lead to kind of where you are now. And so I'm grateful for all those experiences, whether they were painful. I was fired from a few jobs. I was a camp counselor many, many years ago. And, I would, the kids would be playing or entertaining, and the camp director would call me to the office, and I was busy with the kids, and so I got fired. And then one time I was over my clogs in the bunk, and I got fired. And she kept firing and rehiring me. She was quite a personality, the woman who ran the camp, and I actually played her. I did her as a character years later. So I think they put it on to it. For me, everything is sort of part and parcel of where I am in this very moment.
At this very moment, last question here. What's next for you?
I'm opening on Sunday, first preview for Dracula, a comedy of terrors, a really funny, crazy, zany take on Dracula, written and directed by Gordon Greenberg, Steve Rosen. It's just opened in Albany. It's sort of going to be making the tour, and we have the Canadian premiere at the Seagull Theatre. So that's, and I get to kind of expose all these zany, crazy sides of me that were, there in camp and there in, whatever I was doing in the office managing. And it's really, it's a wild ride. So I'd recommend, people want a good laugh and a good time as the leader to come out and check it out.
Ellen David, great to speak with you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Sean. Always a pleasure.
Ellen David, actor, director, producer, not an accountant. What do we have? 3 minutes left here. Let's go back to the phone lines, Elspeth, if that's okay with you. Let's go to NDG. We've got Lawrence here. Hi, Lawrence.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. So we don't have a lot of time. Can you distill this for us?
I'll make it super brief.
Yeah.
It's a super long story, but here goes really quickly. It was so bad that the day that I got hit by a bus was the best day of my life until that point, because I thought, I don't have to go to work today.
Oh my goodness.
When I got hired straight out of university, they gave me the phone number of a psychologist and say, good luck. This is a teaching job in the public Quebec system. And I was attacked by students, strangled, kicked, punched, spat at.
Oh no.
And the administration made them draw an apology drawing. And when I received this drawing, it had the name of another teacher on it, and had been made months before. And that was as much as the administration deemed was necessary to discipline the children.
So they had
That's
already...
literally... Oh, sorry.
But no, they had done this to another teacher?
No. No, but I'm assuming they had just like found a picture in the trash and just like gave it to me.
Okay, got it. Elspeth, you were going to say something there.
I was just saying that's literally insult to injury. Like that's terrible. I feel so much better about any job I've ever had right now. That's awful.
That's awful. So how long did you do that?
Unfortunately, it seemed I was a slow learner. 3 years later, when I was alone in front of 42 special needs kids in a student lounge that was supposed to be my classroom, with the administration breathing down my neck about how I apparently harassed them regularly on that was when I called it quits. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna quit. And all the other teachers said, you know what, you just keep this job. It's safe, it's secure, you get pension. And I thought, this is not worth my life. I want to get hit by another bus. This is not normal.
Oh no. So learning experience, anything that you sort of look back on it now?
If I had not been thrown into a deep, dark pit of depression after these 3 years, I would not be a very successful career person today with like a lot of years of therapy behind me, but like I'm solid now. You know what I mean?
All right, there you go. Good. So we'll wrap on that point. Thank you so much for phoning in. I'm glad that it worked out that way for you.
Take care.
That's Lawrence from MDG. Elspeth, that seems like a good place to leave it, especially if Liz Truss is listening to this, right? Sometimes these things work out, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Exactly.
Yeah. I want to thank you so much for being here. It was fantastic to have you here. I don't feel like you have taught us telepathy during the hour. I have to be honest about that, but otherwise it has been fantastic to have you here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
That's Elspeth Wright, comedian, writer, producer of Battle of Wits, and formerly, for a short time, failed teacher. Thanks to everybody who phoned into the program today. Thank you so much for listening to the program. We're going to post it online at cbc.ca/listen, or you can use the CBC Listen app. People who worked on the program this week, our technician, Claudia Sanchez, and our producer, Aislinn May. Have a great weekend. We will speak to you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Kissel on the kazoo, Tegan and Sarah on the triangle. The Canadian Music Class Challenge is back. Hi, I'm Grant Lawrence. Pick a song from our list, create your own cover version, and upload your video. Amazing prizes are up for grabs, including thousands of dollars worth of new musical instruments for your class. The deadline is November 23rd. Submit your video now at cbcmusic.ca/musicclass.
The National Research Council official time signal. The beginning of the long dash indicates exactly 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Saving Time.